like, I get they have a cardigan on, but it's like just a cardigan. Like, it gets so cold in the UK. Like, I mean, the trench coat, it's like, at least you can have a coat and then you can put stuff under it or, whatever to keep yourself warm. But the cape, it's just like, how impractical. You must be freezing half the year.
And you can go chummy with a trench coat.
They've never got a proper winter coat on.
No. Well, do you remember Chummy, though, with her trench coat? Going into Peter with nothing else underneath.
Oh.
She couldn't do that with a cape, could she?
No.
Well, she could, but she'd be an exhibitionist.
She'd be really flashing.
She'd be arrested, let's be honest. Also, can I just say, I've got a very big history with this, but I watched this last night and my daughter was too hot. It's too hot, Mummy, it's too hot. And I was watching this just on the birth scene. She walked in and she was like, oh my goodness, what's that? And I thought she was referring to the fact that this baby had smaller limbs, but no, she was talking about the umbilical cord. She was absolutely traumatized by it. We've had question after question after question today about umbilical cords.
She has an uncanny ability to literally walk in every single time you watch an episode.
Really
it's the most disturbing part. You really gotta just like lock her in a room or something like that.
Oh, when you're watching absolutely loves it though. She talks about it all the time. She keeps talking about the gypsies with the caravan that went on fire. She's like, "Come and watch the gypsy caravan at funeral again." I'm like, "No."
Oh gosh,
she should join the podcast.
She would love that. As it happened, I was, I could easily breastfeed. I was good at breastfeeding. I could have squirted across a hallway.
Oh. That was information we did not need to get, but okay.
And you saw how fat my daughter was. My God.
I also know a real life person who basically was in this exact situation.
Same.
But
okay.
Yeah, and she basically started, like, she was an older lady and she started seeing, they did go out with each other and they would holiday and things and take the wife with them.
That's a bit
weird. Wait a minute. So it would be like, it was like a throuple, like a three.
No, because
didn't know who they were.
No, the lady had dementia, so she had no idea really who.
Oh, so the husband was the one who was still with it and he had a girlfriend and the wife had dementia. Oh, and then the three of them would go away on vacations together.
Yes.
So I remember my grandma being like, your dad was the first in the street. That was the thing here as well.
Really? Your dad was like Ian, like the first one to go to university?
Yeah, he was the first in the family and he was the first in the street.
Wow. That's really something, Al.
Yeah. I was the second no, I wasn't, because his brother went. So I was the third in the family to graduate university.
Wow. Wait, your brother went to university too, though, right?
Didn't graduate.
Oh. Okay. Well, anyways, we're just gonna speed right through that one.
I hope he doesn't listen to our podcast. No shame.
He's a very happy and successful person.
He's a very accomplished, exactly. Yeah.
Yes, there's no university degree that is needed to, he's in a great place. Yes.
My zero this week's Ian.
Yeah, zero was Ian. Okay.
Yeah, I don't necessarily think he was. I do think he was a bit harsh on Linda with his reaction, but I do get it was very life changing. But the only reason really that he's at zero is because he sat on the floor in the toilet. It was the most disgusting thing I've ever seen. That is literally why. Remember in like the 60s, he used to make the mother like stay in the hospital or whatever or home bed rest for 10 days. Sounds absolute bliss. But nowadays it's just get them up or whatever. But now Roseanne Dawley,
where you're talking about like enforced invalidism as like something you would absolutely love to do.
The irony is, if I had to do it, I'd be awful at it. Anyway,
every week you're like, oh my God, if I could just get a coma for 5 days, like book me in.
Someone run me over. Anyway,
a really light concussion. 72 hours off from work.
If anyone sees me crossing the road in Cheshire, just go for it, yeah.
Yeah, anyway. Just give her like a really, like just a tap, just enough to kind of knock her over.
Just enough for concussion.
Yeah, anyway. Just one of those like bandages around the head and then a little light work, There
was an ad campaign over here that was really dark. Now, Bex, I would say, do you remember this? But Bex doesn't remember last week.
I don't have memory of any of this.
No. There was a campaign and it was about AIDS and it was about don't die of ignorance, educate yourself on HIV and everything like that. And we were tiny and my brother was crying in bed one night, really upset. And my dad was like, what's wrong? And he was like, I don't want to die of ignorance. It makes us laugh still loads.
my God, that's amazing.
Keep looking at Jen, it's making me giggle more. Jen's like, I lost it.
Oh my God. Don't want to die.
But it was a huge, huge campaign over here. And it just reminded me there. And I thought, I've got to say that story because it's amazing.
Oh my God. Oh, you know, those kind of things when kids do them to me are so wonderful. Like, I think everybody has stories like that from their childhood that either they said or somebody else said. Oh my God, that is so good. Oh wow. I don't want to tell you I'm ignorant. Well, girls, I'm just gonna come right out and say this. I don't like camping. I don't like it at all. I don't know why. I know, I understand why people like it and why people want to do it.
I don't.
But I also absolutely don't get why you would ever do it. Like, to me, there's like, if anyone ever said like, oh, you want to go camping? I'd be like, hard pass. No. I don't want to do it. I don't even want to glamping. I don't want to do like fancy camping. If I'm not in a firm structure with indoor plumbing and electricity, like I don't want to be there overnight. Like
it's the toilet for me. And also it's never a good temperature. Like, number one, I've got a fringe. It's not conducive to camping. Number two, it's either way too cold or way too hot. Like, it's disgusting. It's sweaty or freezing. Like, it's never in between. It's never comfortable. I remember I went to Glastonbury once with three of my friends, and it was 2 girls, 2 boys, but we're all just friends. So I was staying in the tent with my friend, girl, and the 2 boys were staying in another. We were so freezing cold that night. We all went to this store where clothes were like 50p each and bought loads of clothes. All went into the one tent, all bunched up together, freezing cold. And I'll never forget the noise that one of the boys made. It sounded like a moose or something in the morning because we were so hot. The condensate, it was just the worst. It's never ever good. Camping's just awful, and there's no toilet.
I love camping. I mean, I don't do it. I haven't done it for a lot of years.
Well, which means you don't love it, because if you did love it, you'd do it more.
Yeah, you would do it. You would have done. When was the last time you went camping, Bex?
I mean, it's got to be a good 10, 15 years ago.
Well, you don't love camping then?
Yeah, no, you don't. Yeah,
I love the idea of it.
I love the idea of a lot of things, but that doesn't mean that in the actual fact of like completing it, I would ever want to do it. I
hate the idea of it. I hate camping. I've written in capitals here, I hate camping, but we already know that.
Wait. I wrote something about camping too in my notes.
Becky's like, I've got a camping tattoo.
I thought when Jen comes over, we'd go camping. Clearly not.
Well, that's really nice. You can camp in the garden while me and Jen go somewhere nice.
I was like, Becky, you did not think we were going camping. I'll tell you what.
Actually, camping with you two does not sound fun.
It would be. I can guarantee you an hour into it and you would regret the choice we made to do it. You'd have to like kidnap me to get me out there.
And she was also supposed to interview Helen George, but she was too busy. We know how she was busy. She was getting together with Tom in real life on that trip.
Her and Jack Aston were looking at a different kind of sunset.
Yes, but she answered her questions by email, probably in between, snogging Tom in real life. So anyway, they go down the stairs. It's an awful, awful, awful journey. She's being sick over the side. For some reason,
they cut that part out of our episode, all that.
Well, he's helping her down the stairs and he's like hugging her a bit. And then Nurse Crane swaps places, gives him the baby. And she's like, I'll help her down. You two lovebirds can have a hug later. I thought, he's not just trying to shag her on the stairs or anything. Like, he's literally trying to help her.
She's just been sick over the banister. Yeah. He's literally wiping sick from her face.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe Phyllis just wanted to like get them to move a little faster though. Maybe he was being just a bit too like precious with it.
No,
I don't know. Fine. We didn't have the scene in my episode.
Well, Nurse Crane was a bit weird there. So then,
I thought you could have carried her down.
I did as well. That was my next point. But then I thought my husband wouldn't be able to carry me down. Not even 1 flight of stairs, let alone 8.
Maybe a piggyback.
I don't even know if that could happen. She's just given birth.
Can you imagine a lady in her condition
doing the splits on his back?
I'm sorry, it's not nice. That's so
So anyway,
any physical position you'd want to be in less after you've just given birth and you're having postnatal preeclampsia, which is like having your like stomach squeezed against your husband's back and then having your legs wrapped around him while he's trying to carry you down.
But even a fireman's lift, your stomach is like you've just gone through labour. No, thank you. Also, just to say, at the start of the podcast, we had a special guest announcer who is the latest addition to the podcast. She's joining us next week to talk about really gritty things. It's my daughter.
our youngest host.
Our youngest host, non-listener, 6-year-old. Yeah.
But she does watch Call the Midwife.
She came in today, actually.
She's seen some very choice scenes in the episodes. If you've been listening along with us, you know that she's popped in at very wild times.
Well, she asked again today. She was like, "Can we watch the bit where they burn the caravan?" I was like, "No, I'm watching this episode."
She probably did her bit in less takes than we did our bit.
Oh, she 100% did it. Look, she literally just did it. Done. Bam. There and then.
Is it her usual voice, or is it the voice that she gets when she's like wanted to do something but then gets a bit shy about it?
Oh no, not shy at all. You'll hear.
Okay, that's so funny.
I thought you were going to suggest then that she's got a telephone voice. I was like, I've never heard a telephone voice.
Hello, Mummy.
Actually, I went to America once, and my mum had basically like thrust upon me as I was leaving like a whole box full of cereal bars just so that I had like emergency food with me. So it was in like my hand luggage. And then, you know, sometimes when you're on the plane, they make you fill out that whole A4, is it like a whole page of like,
yeah.
And I think it said something about smuggling in food goods. And then I was only young, so I panicked and ate them all.
I always love the one that's a question about like, do you have like $10,000 or more like in cash, bonds?
Yeah, but you always question yourself. You're thinking, oh God, how much do I have? And then you're like, oh, hang on, no, I do not.
Well, and then I always am like, oh, I wish that was a problem I was having right now. You know what I mean? I would love to have 10,000 of any monetary. But I've literally never in my life. So no, that's funny.
Also, if you do have anything you want to ask us or anything you want us to talk about or any questions for us or anything, drop us a line on Facebook, Twitter.
I thought you were going to say a phone number. I was like, we got a phone number.
No, we've not got a phone number.
Drop us a line on 0800.
081 81 81 81 81. Can we just have a check? Has everyone started reading it?
I have finished the book.
I know you have. When I say everyone.
Oh my God, Alex, how dare you?
Have you started reading it?
I started before you.
Have you finished?
No, I've not finished it.
How far into it are you, Bex?
Have you finished it, Alex?
No, I'm about 3/4 of the way through.
This is a safe space. I don't want to.
How much have you read there?
I've read a few chapters.
Read 3 pages. I guarantee it. Well, Bex, just get it out. Just crack that spine open and finish it, because we're going to be talking about it very shortly.
I just feel victimized.